Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Built Environment Policy and Scrutiny Committee, due to start at 7. I don't know if we're on webcast yet. Perhaps the technicians could tell us. And we indeed have an experiment here this evening, webcasting live on the City Council website. I thought it would be helpful, therefore, to explain to our new viewers about the makeup of this committee, which comprises 10 of the 60 councillors elected by Westminster residents. As a Policy and Scrutiny Committee, our remit is not as decision takers, but instead we contribute to policy development and scrutinise decisions made by the Cabinet members, and we make recommendations to the Cabinet members. And as we scrutinise 5 members' work on this committee, we have, as usual, a full agenda tonight. Each has been allocated half an hour. So, that sounds like feedback there. It's better. Would you like me to start again? Okay. The first item is membership. Ruben, it looks as if we've got a full house tonight. Yeah. We do. And could I have declarations of interest from all councillors and officers present? Are there any declarations of interest from any councillors?
Any motorcyclists among us? No.
Thank you. That's noted. Now, the first item on the agenda after that is motorcycling parking charging, but I can see that not everybody has arrived yet. I understand speakers are on their way. So can I propose, therefore, that we move to looking at the minutes of the meeting that were held, the last meeting held on the 1st of December. Do colleagues have any comments on the minutes?
Yes.
Councillor Burbridge. Anybody else while Susie's shuffling? Ruth.
Thank you. On 6.15, it'll come up again, but it says that the committee believes that that was income, would be ring-fenced for Go Green projects. I don't quite remember us believing this, but clearly we were wrong in that belief, and I just wanted to see whether or not that was an accurate reflection of what we were told. Further on, there was an agreement to issue 2 press releases. I'm sorry.
Before we go on, what is the recollection of other members?
I didn't follow what Ruth was saying. I haven't got the page.
I'm sorry.
It's item 6.15, 6.15, that the ring fencing of any spare revenue. I'm not sure that we're advised. Kevin.
Chairman, I can't comment on that. I need to go back to the Director of Finance to see if it has been ring-fenced or not.
Thank you. In that case, let's strike it. Your next point, Ruth.
It was there was an agreement to issue 2 press releases, and I noticed that only 1 was released, and I was concerned about that because I don't know why that would have the second one wouldn't have been released, which was to do with the minimisation of waste.
Thank you. The press office advised that it wouldn't get much coverage. We did, of course, get coverage on the other piece. Susie, have you found what you were after?
Yeah.
Which number?
It was 17, when Councillor Bradley was talking about the flexibility of CCTV for parking enforcement, and I wanted to state that I agreed with what he said.
Thank you.
Back him up.
A technical point here. It is usual that the chairman's microphone can be left on while another microphone is being used. That doesn't seem to be happening this evening. Is there any way we can get this fixed? If I turn off my microphone, perhaps somebody can answer me. Okay. Reuben?
No, you can't.
We can't. Okay, perhaps we can take that back to technical. Councillor Hooper.
Thank you, Chairman. A few weeks ago, I was asked as Lord Mayor Locum Tenants to make awards for considerate builders and also for agencies working on Westminster's roads and pavements, which is quite a new innovation. And I was very interested on looking at these minutes relating to number 7, page 23. I have a couple of questions. One is I would like to know what the criteria is for these awards. I would also like to know who sits on the panel making these awards, as in fact, and whether this committee's views were taken into consideration with regard to 3 awards going to Thames Water. Thank you.
A written response to the committee.
For those who couldn't hear, that was Martin Lowe, who's the Director of Transportation, who's promised to provide a written response. And I think we'll probably be looking for some action on that, won't we? Any other points on the minutes? I propose that they be approved with those amendments.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Thank you. How many of the speakers from the motorcyclists have arrived? Are you all here? Well, can I suggest, colleagues, that we invite the witnesses to come to the table? Would you bring your nameplates with you that we have provided? And you can perhaps introduce yourself. But before you do that, just one moment. I'll just make my opening remarks again, as I think a number of people in the public gallery weren't here, and it's to explain that the makeup of this committee comprises 10 of the 60 councillors elected by Westminster residents. And as a policy and scrutiny committee, our remit is not as decision takers, but instead we contribute to policy development and scrutinise decisions made by cabinet members and make recommendations to them. And as we scrutinise 5 cabinet members' work, we have, as usual, a full agenda, so each section has been allocated half an hour. So we're now moving on to the motorcycling parking charging section. And just to let people know that we first listened to the No campaign when we invited them to speak from the public gallery at our meeting last September. And we invited you then to come at the end of the pilot period, and that's why we've invited you today. So thank you for coming to the meeting to tell us about your views. I'm sorry, though, that although we invited you to send a paper in advance, that you would send us a paper in advance of the meeting, you chose not to do that. We would have circulated that with our public papers. And I'm also sorry that, having looked at your website once again today, which is obviously a very successful website, that you haven't published our report on your website, which I think would have added to the wider knowledge and debate. Now, we have 2 minutes each from each speaker. And is there any particular order that you want to go in? Is it Dr. Leon Manning's first? Thank you.